I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong. I just need to carry on, cause society's a myth put there to make you sit. Listen to what they give. Don't ask questions, shut your lid. Yeah, don't ask questions, shut your lid. I need to run away from this and go.
Hey guys, how are we today? I'm so glad to see all of you, for real, for real. We got the Brat. Everybody loves to see you, Brat. When you're missing, it's noticed. And K-Braze, hey buddy. Crazy Mama, good to see you. Jenna, hey. Sifa, thank you for stopping by. And 71, good to see you. K-Braze and Jennifer, it's always good to see you. Neat Noodle, hey, how are you today? I'm glad to see all of you today. The last time we were here, there was an Amber Alert, and I have looked into this so much. Cutie Pie shared it with me, and I think she's from that area. And first, I want to tell you guys that Roman Santos, he was found safe. I'm sure all of you guys saw that, and that was a big load off. Even though that two mothers are now, there's 3 children now without mothers or fathers. And you guys, I know I'm a little late talking about this, but it's been on my mind. And when stuff is on my mind, I know that it has to be on your guys' mind too. And so I figured that we could go through what I found. And also at the end, I want to share with you guys, I found a lot of stuff on this page. It's a local newspaper in the area called Tumbleweird, and it was a great resource. And the one of the editors there, she wrote this really good Facebook post, and it gives tips for what we could do to possibly prevent this in the future. So I figured that we could talk about all this, you guys. I figured today, this is the first time that I'm going to try this. I'll post the link, and if anybody wants to come up, you're more than welcome. And I know to share my pin screen. I know how to do that. So if anybody wants to come up, you're more than welcome, and we can chat. But don't feel pressured or anything like that. Before I started going live on my channel, I only went up on one other person's channel, my friend Heidi, Designing My Life, and I went up on her panel a few times. And then, of course, Case, my one of my BFFs, well, my OG BFF, Case, True Crime Karen's, um, she's the one that talked me into going live with her in the first place. Oh, you guys, I have to tell you, right before that I went live, my mama brought my mail in, and Case gets those overstock pallets and sells it on eBay. And when she finds stuff, she sends it to me that she knows I can use. And this week she has sent me resin for my resin crafts. She sent me a resin mold that has a lamp that'll light it up. The light up part actually works. And today she sent me these little cute resin statues that I can paint, and I just got those before I went live. So bless her heart, you guys. I have to thank her after we get off here. She's not been feeling well lately, so let's remember her in our prayers. I would appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, I figured that I would tell you guys what I know first, and then we could look at the videos and stuff like that. It's Elias. I've heard his name pronounced Huizar. Elias Huizar, and he was 39 years old when this all went down. So back in 2013, he applied for the Yakima PD, and he started working there in 2014 after he attended the academy. And a few years after that, he started working as a school resource officer. And while he was at this school, there was, let me show you guys. He's a really bad dude, you guys, and I even hate sharing his picture or anything like that. Let's see here. Let me find it, you guys. I don't know if you guys do this, but when you're researching stuff, you find all you can in the first place, and then you go through it a little bit at a time. And there's so much with this case. There's actually 105-page report. Let me see. There was a 12-year-old female student, and there was a fight between her and another female student, and Huizar broke it up. And after he broke it up, this little 12-year-old girl, they said that they would be in the lunchroom and they would notice that she would be wherever he was standing. And they noticed that that was kind of weird. Okay. And then they heard that there was photos of him with his shirt off. And people, the principal did have a talk with him about that to lock his Facebook down and things like that. And so after that, it got around. Some of the little girls went and told their principal that she was saying on Snapchat that they were having sexual relations, and that he would take her out to eat to the restaurant, and that they would have sex at his house and at the school and things like that. And so, of course, it was looked into. Let's see here. And it was a 105-page report, and I do have the report. I'll share this page with you guys. This is where I got a lot of what I found today. They have a really good Google Doc that you guys can look into too. 71, it is so crazy. So it was a 105-page report, and it was over 9 days, and then it was closed. It was closed without merit. And let's see here. Overall, there was 11 students that made written statements about this, and the principal, she actually, her husband was a police officer too. This was Jenna. This was in 2019 is when the investigation happened. She was a sixth grader, 11 years old, Angelica Santos. And let's see here. So when they spoke to the grandmother, you guys, the grandmother said, quote unquote, she did not believe the poor officer did anything with Angelica, and that she didn't want to see the officer suffer harm for something that didn't happen. And also, even they even spoke to her pastor at her church, and the pastor said that he had known her to tell fibs and stuff like that. So nobody believed this child, you guys. Um, and there was also on the Snapchat that she was discussing how she had lost. Okay, you guys, and trigger warning about all this stuff. I have it going across the bottom of my screen, but please take care. This what I'm going to tell you guys involves SA and I don't know how to say this. Rape. It involves rape. So I don't know any other way to say it. It's awful. And she said that she lost her virginity to him in some Snapchat post. And she goes on to say that her phone was hacked and that she didn't send the messages. Okay. Let's see here. What else? One story the students reported. Let me share this with you guys. I'm looking at it and not sharing with you guys. I'm still a newbie too, you guys. You guys know that, so please give me some grace. Let's see here. So this is the link that I sent that I'm showing you guys right now. And it said that she loved the officer and wanted to have sex with him, but didn't want to get pregnant. Her friend told her to get condoms. So they have proof of all this, you guys, in this 105-page report. And in another message, she was depressed and threatened self-harm over friends going to the school principal about Huizar. So the principal, her husband, well, it was actually the vice principal. Her husband was an 18-year police officer too in the same department as Huizar. And she said, let's see. So then her and her friends decided to tell everyone it was a prank and that they made it up. However, in multiple pages of student interviews, the students talked about Huizar, and they're calling her Doe here, but it's Angelica, having sex, and how Doe said she planned to deny the relationship because she was worried about Huizar going to jail. Okay, Brace, thank you. Thank you so much. And so, anyways, after all this, you guys, 105-page report, in 9 days, it was closed without merit. And the chief of, I think it was Yakima, he said that the only thing that he was going to do was give him a disciplinary something for not reporting the allegations, because even if he was the suspect, he was still supposed to report the allegations. But you guys get this. He said that that he waited too long, that the statute of limitations or whatever within their department, he waited too long, so he couldn't even give him that disciplinary action. So all he did, you guys, was switch him to a different school. They ended up suspending Angelica for 10 days and switched him to a different school. But after that, she was calling his house and his wife answered and stuff like that. And he got an anti-harassment order against her. Against this little girl, he got an anti-harassment order against her. Can you believe that? Hey, Vanessa, it's good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, he got an anti-harassment order against her. Crazy. Okay, so after that was all done, and so that was 2019. Also in 2019, besides being a school resource officer, he was also employed as a wrestling coach. He did wrestling in college, high school and college. So he was also employed as a wrestling coach. So that was 2019 to 2020. Um, and I forgot what year that he got married, but let me show you guys his wife, Amber Rodriguez. She was 31 years old when all of this happened, you guys. Absolutely beautiful. And this was Angelica. I forgot to show you guys her. Angelica Santos. Yeah. So he was married to Amber, and in 2020, she ends up filing for divorce. I want to show you guys some more about that. Let's see here. '71, they do look similar. Absolutely beautiful. Too beautiful for this dude. And he's really short too. I mean, that don't say a whole lot, but he wasn't all that he thinks he was. 71, me too. Me too. I am so glad that Roman was found safe. But can you imagine all he went through in the car? A high speed chase. I'll tell you guys more about that. But, and then him, you know, doing that to himself, deleting himself right in front of the car in front of that baby. Okay, I wanted to tell you guys that right here it talks about him and Amber's divorce. They have 2 kids at the time that all of this happened, but this is back in 2020. So their kids would have been 5 and just born. They had a 9-year-old little boy and a 5-year-old little boy when all of this happened. But this goes back to talk about their divorce. It says Huizar's divorce from the mother of his 2 older children spun out over the past 2 years, records show, and led to multiple 911 calls. One fight took place in 2021 at Wiley Elementary School. So this is the same school where he ended up taking Amber's life this past Monday. So he was there, and he was supposed to pick up one of his sons, and his father-in-law was there too, and they argued so bad that the principal had to call the police, separate them and call the police. But a year later, Huizar passed a background check according to the school district, and he got a substitute teaching job within the same district. So he ended up, okay, so he was a school resource officer, right? And then he ended up being on a leave. What I could find was that it was like 191 days of a leave, and they said it was not over disciplinary actions, that they described it as after somebody has surgery and they go on leave for that. Heather says, I pray he's too young to have any of that stick with him. That would be so traumatizing. It really, really would, Heather. I reckon that Angelica's family, they have a huge family, and that they're going to take care of him. When he was found, it was Oregon, so they had to go through CPS to get him back to Washington. So I pray that he's back there now. So while he was on leave for the medical leave or whatever, he ended up applying for a substitute teacher at another school district. So right here it says that he sailed through all of that. So my question is, why didn't the school district where he was, why didn't they pass along to this new school district? I'm sure that he had to have, you guys, I also read that this Richland school district, they didn't have to have references. It said that they had references in the custodial department, they had to have references, and also in the nutrition department. So if you were applying for the lunchroom or to be a janitor, you had to have references, but not a substitute teacher. Hey, Chris. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you made it through the storms all right. Yeah. I know, Heather. Isn't it crazy? Not for a teacher. Mm-mm. No, that's what I read now, and I've read a lot of different places. Um, let's see here. Right here it says the documents, 105-page documents, you guys. Um, let's see. And I forgot to tell you guys. So Amber, he actually met Amber and got with her when she was underage too. She was 17 at her high school, and he volunteered to go back and help with the wrestling teams at her high school. So he was 24 and got with her when she was 17. So that's another red flag. Red flags everywhere, everywhere. Oh, let's see. Fingerprinting. Oh, you guys, I have to show you guys this. Okay, let me come back and show you guys this one thing that I wanted to tell you guys. Let me tell you what the school district said. Um, that's not it. Let's see, we're extremely disheartened that information about Mr. Huizar's past was not disclosed to us through the various processes we have in place to vet RSD candidates for employment. It is the expectation for individuals who apply for employment with Richland School District to be forthcoming and truthful in their applications. No past investigations or allegations appeared in Mr. Huizar's background checks before he was hired, and nothing was disclosed by Mr. Huizar. We take the process of hiring staff very seriously and pride ourselves on the quality and character of our staff members. So they're blaming it on him. Like, okay, he didn't tell us, so it's his fault, basically, is what they're saying. Can you guys believe that? Crazy. Yeah, okay. Let's see here. This is telling about those allegations before. Um, Right here it tells Murray, that was his chief, said his office slapped Huizar with a policy violation, or at least intended to. He said he wrote up a reprimand but didn't complete it in the time frame required under the department's contract with the union. So right here it says that he didn't even get that done in time. So this tells about the DV incident at the school. And this tells all the times that he'd been involved with 911 during this divorce. It says police officers in Richland had become well acquainted with Huizar. On March 10th, 2021, he had called 911 to accuse Rodriguez of forging medical documents. On March 19th, he accused a family member of sending inappropriate text messages to a minor. So he's accusing somebody else of doing what he's probably doing. So the state of police responses led the West Richland Police Department to alert Huizar's supervisors at the Yakima Police Department. Records show Murray ordered another internal investigation. So after all these DV incidents, then they ordered another investigation. So this makes 2 investigations, you guys, and nothing comes out of either one of them. So more red flags that something could have been done then. And he applies for substitute teacher after this in 2022 at the same district. All this happened, and they just let him in. But so in 2023 on 4/7, the divorce was finally finalized. Okay. So then after the divorce on this year, February the 2nd, Angelica, and she invites her friend over to their house at this time when she becomes 15 years old. Her and Elias start quote unquote dating. You can't date a minor, but that's what they're calling it. And hey hippie chick, it's good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah. And so when she's 15, they start dating. I tried to count up the months, and my math is not very good. But anyways, I think it was around the same time that Amber and Elias got divorced. So they start dating, and they ended up having Roman. Roman was 1 year old when all this happened this week. So this February, um, Angelica invites one of her friends over, and they start drinking. And her friend gets really sick, drinks too much. And so the two girls, they go in their extra bedroom to so that they could sleep and rest it off and things like that. Well, Angelica wakes up, and Elias is performing sexual acts on her friend. She's passed out, and he's doing that to her friend. So let me find the paperwork for you guys. I can't share it because I didn't edit it. I got it from this. I got it from that tumbleweed place that I showed you guys. So let me find it. Okay. So it was on February the 2nd of this year. Let's see here. So when she wakes up and sees that, they flee the house. They get the baby and they flee the house. And they ended up going to a cafe down the street. And I'm going to read you what the case report, the details say. It says, upon arrival, I was informed that both females were in the GMC Canyon. I was informed that the females were reporting a SA that occurred, and it gives their address. The female in the passenger seat was determined to be a victim who was later identified. So her friend was in the passenger seat, and Angelica was in the driver's seat. And it says she was a witness of the SA, and the perpetrator was identified as Elias Huizar. And it says that Angelica was the girlfriend, and at this time, the baby that they had was 9 months old. Oh, this is gross, you guys. I'm not going to read all this. But anyways, so after they get to the cafe and report what happened, the cops go back. They get a warrant to go back and arrest Elias. And he is he's barricaded himself in the house. And so it's 2 hours, and they end up having to use flash grenades and things like that to get him out of the house, you guys. 2 hours. So after all this, they go in to get him out, and he is washing the comforter and the clothes and things like that, trying to get rid of evidence, you guys. They catch him in the act. And I have a list of everything that they took. They ended up taking three pew-pews, you know what I mean? They ended up taking 3 of those. And for some reason, he had $15,000 cash. And since they had to break the door down, they said that they took those for safekeeping since they couldn't lock it up. So $15,000 cash, and they ended up taking his DNA and the bed sheets, the comforter, things like that. Jennifer says, I'm so angry with this girl's parents. Like, where are her parents? This is so infuriating. Yeah, I'll read you something about this in a few minutes. It said that her parents didn't know that this was the perpetrator of when she was 11 years old. Until the baby was so many months old, they didn't even know. So after this, you guys, his bail is $250,000. Okay, how does he have 15 grand cash, and how is a substitute teacher able to come up with 250 grand cash to get out? I have no idea. Okay, let me show you guys what her mother says about this now. I know, I figured that you guys would be as angry as I am about this. Going through all this, you guys, in that 105-page report, it's crazy. Let's see here. So also after this happened and he got out on bail, Amber didn't even know that any of this happened until she heard about it on the news. And so when she hears about it on the news, she's like, no way. I'm getting a protection order against him for my babies. He's not coming anywhere near my babies. No way. He can do this to two girls. And that's when Amber finds out that Elias's new girlfriend, his baby's mother, is the girl that he got an anti-harassment order against back in 2019. Yeah. Jennifer says, but her and her other friend underaged and spending nights and time with him. Yeah. And Angelica was living with him and her 17 years old. Let me see here. Neat Noodle says, I worked all my life in the justice system. It is not unusual for individuals like this guy to be drawn to that career. Yep, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? And at first, you guys, they wouldn't even give Amber the restraining order. Someone helped her get a lawyer, and she finally did get the restraining order, but it said that she was absolutely terrified. Let me show you guys what she wrote in the restraining order. Let me find it. It says, Elias Huizar has been diagnosed with PTSD, major depressive disorder, insomnia, alcohol use disorder, and an unspecified personality disorder. I believe he would try to cause harm to my children and I. So this guy is bad, bad, bad news. So let me see. So this is telling about what happened. So this is Angelica's mother talking about. It says, mother of teen girlfriend says Huizar brainwashed her. Huizar met Santos while he was employed as a resource officer at her middle school, said her mother, Tiffany Penaloza. The relationship didn't begin until about 2.5 years ago when Santos was a freshman in high school. Penaloza, 34, said her daughter kept details about the relationship, like Huizar's age and his real name, secret in the beginning. Well, I don't know about you guys, but if I had a 15-year-old daughter, I would be, when I was her age, I wasn't allowed to go out with anybody until I was 16, I think. And then my mom would get their license plate number and do all that stuff before I was allowed to leave the house. So she's letting her 15-year-old. I don't ever want to bash parents, you guys, but what we can say is that a lot of failures happened in this case, and that we learn a lot of lessons, and people need to do better. I will say that. Cutie Pie, hey, I was telling people that you're the one that brought this case to my attention. She says this monster was a substitute teacher for my son at Jefferson Elementary. Oh my goodness. Cutie Pie, and do you know that after he was accused of all this with Angelica at that school as a school resource officer, they just switched him to another school, and then after that they give him an emergency substitute teacher license. Yeah. Let's see here. It wasn't until Santos' son was about 6 months old that the family learned the truth. So about 3 months before the really bad incident with her and her friend, so about 3 months before they learned who this dude is. Despite the family's concerns, Penaloza said the relationship was really good at first. Things started slowly going downhill after his arrest in February. There was restraining orders granted in February, and he wasn't even supposed to be around anybody under the age of 17, not even his own child. So I don't know if she's talking about before this or Huizar became controlling, she recalled. When Santos was around her family, he would allegedly make her wear an Apple AirPod with him on the phone. She said he wanted to listen to her conversations to make sure she wasn't saying anything negative about him or disclosing details about the R case. So he wasn't even supposed to be speaking to her or anything. And he has got her basically everywhere she goes, he's right there in her ear. Literally in her ear. Oh, this is making me angry, you guys. This is awful. Cutie Pie says he was a substitute for PE class. He said he was just a normal dude. Well, that's the thing. The monsters, they really are normal, quote unquote normal. And that's the scary part. K-Bray says, Jennifer, that's like letting someone that robbed a bank before work at a bank. Yeah, exactly. And I just read that to you guys, what the school said. They said, well, he didn't disclose that to us, that there was a big investigation. Well, do you think he would? I mean, come on. Let's see here. 2 days before she died, Penaloza said Huizar became angry when her daughter refused to let him eavesdrop on a conversation she was having with her grandmother. That made him mad. He called her at least a minimum of 20 times back to back to back because she wasn't answering his calls, she said. I was like, are you sure it's a good idea for you to go home? She goes, no, I talked to him and he's still mad, but he's not mad where he'll do anything. Well, bless her heart. Through the relationship, Santos had tried to distance herself from Huizar, her mother said, but she struggled with the idea of breaking up her family. She had her vision for her son that he'd have this perfect little family, she said, and so as much as she was not okay with everything, she wanted to be able to give her son everything that she didn't have. So she put up with a lot of things that weren't okay. The family tried to intervene, Penaloza said. Santos's grandmother had been trying to find resources that could help when she was killed. He had brainwashed her into believing so much stuff that wasn't real, Penaloza said. He had her believing that they were going to be the perfect family. He got her out of Yakima into a better living environment and a better place to raise the baby. She was with him, but she was hesitant at the same time. So I wanted to share that with you guys. It gives us a little look into what Angelica was going through at this time. Cutie Pie says, I just feel so bad for the children. Rumor has it the 2 older children witnessed him shoot his ex at the school. Yep, I heard that too, Cutie Pie. I heard at least the 9-year-old son, at least he saw it. I know for sure. I did read that. So that brings us to this past Monday, you guys. Well, actually, the Friday before that, Amber had taken him to court to get full custody of her children, and I couldn't find what happened at that court date. So I don't know if he showed up at that one or not, but that brings us to this past Monday, 4/22. There was a court date for the R charges, and he wasn't there, of course. So at about 3:30 p.m., police were called to Wiley Elementary, and it said that security cameras caught him waiting outside for her about 10 minutes before she was supposed to come out, before the school bell rang, and hundreds of kids were out there. So I did read that there was 8 shell casings at the scene, and that he shot her once and shot her many more times when she was on the ground. K-Brace, yes, I've heard so many times where a restraining order actually causes more problems in the end. Something needs to be changed. Yep, exactly. I read that when Amber got it, she said that she knew that it was just a piece of paper and that she was terrified. Yep. Heather, well, I have to write it down. Oh, oh my goodness, I snort laughed, you guys. Where's Shay at? She does that all the time. Yeah. Okay, so police were called to the scene at about 3:30 p.m. And of course, their first suspect is going to be Elias. All of this stuff has been going on. He missed court that day, and um, so they knew that he was the first suspect. So they end up going to his house, and there they found that Angelica is also deceased. Allegedly, it's around the same area as the school. So they go there looking for him and find Angelica. And I did read today that the autopsy was done and that she was allegedly stabbed to death. Um, yeah. Yep. So there, and they found that Roman is missing. And I wanted to show you guys these pictures that I found. This is Angelica, 17 years old, and Roman, 1 year old. Absolutely beautiful. And this is her too. Yeah. And so so this is about 8 p.m. when they enter the house and find her deceased. So at 9:44 p.m. that night, they issued an Amber Alert for Roman. And so let me show you guys. This is the map. So it shows up there at the top where Amber was deceased outside the elementary school. So that night he's spotted going in I forget the name of the store. It's like a little convenience store, something pantry. And then at 2:40 p.m. on the next day, he's spotted on the interstate. And actually, you guys, I'm not for sure how they spotted him because in the Portland area, I'm not sure where that is on this map, but I think they said the Portland area, in an apartment complex, a black car, the tag was stolen. And this newspaper crew, they went and spoke to the manager there, and they said that they didn't even know why the police were coming there. They didn't know that the tag was on Elias's car, so he had switched the car tags in this time. So the next day he was spotted on the interstate about 2:40 p.m. and it's a chase, you guys, 100 miles per hour, and I think they said it was for about 25 miles. And it's a gunfire is exchanged. So thank God that Roman was safe during this, you guys. He could have easily been hit with that gunfire. And hey, Miss W, good to see you. That's okay. I'm glad you stopped by. I'm always so glad to see you. So he ends up, there is a wreck in front of him on the interstate, and the cars are stopped, and it's a tractor trailer 18-wheeler. He hits the back of that and ends up hitting the median. And then when the police come up to his car, he ends up taking his own life before they could get to him. So after all this, he killed 2 mothers. 3 kids are now without a mother or a father. Within 24 hours, he does all of this, and this is what it ends up like, you guys. And then here is the police saving the baby Roman in his little car seat, you guys. And here's another photo of that. I will show you guys the video of that. Hang on just 1 second. Let's see. I'm coming back to get you guys. Hang on just a second.
The fact that the 1-year-old boy was in the car with the suspect during the chase added another layer of difficulty for police. While catching and stopping the suspect was their main goal, they had to do so in a way that would not injure the child.
Oh, they have the babies! Like we have.
Dramatic video shows the moment Oregon State troopers rescued a 1-year-old boy after a manhunt for his father, Elias Huizar, ended along I-5 near Eugene. Huizar ultimately killed himself after a shootout with police. This all started Monday afternoon in the Tri-Cities area in Washington when police say Huizar shot and killed his ex-wife outside an elementary school and also killed a 17-year-old at his house.
Hey guys, there is a both of the ladies have GoFundMe's, and you know what I always say about GoFundMe's, to do your research for sure before you donate. But I did get these off of news sites, but I just wanted to share those with you guys too. I'll finish playing this and I'll share those with you guys.
The teenager was also the mother of their 1-year-old son, Roman. Roman was with Huizar when the manhunt began, prompting a statewide Amber Alert.
That all comes into play as we're contacting the suspect.
This is Captain Kyle Kennedy with the Oregon State Police. He says protecting the child was a top concern that day.
We made the decisions that would give us the highest probability of not injuring Roman and bringing Roman home safely.
After numerous tips, Oregon State Police first spotted Huizar driving south on I-5.
They pull out behind him and a pursuit begins.
At one point, Huizar started shooting at state police. 2 out of the 3 troopers fired back, including the superintendent.
To have the superintendent is rare to be involved in an incident like this. These are very high stakes decisions. Can we tactically make a precision shot when we need to? And that is a question that every officer in the moment must make a decision to answer, and they don't have the luxury of time to make it.
The troopers and the child were not injured in the shootout.
Did you guys hear that? It was actually on the interstate. It was the supervisors that saw him, that caught him, that ended up doing the shootout. Wow, I don't think I caught that earlier.
Don't believe Huizar was either.
You have a strong likelihood that Roman could be in between you and the suspect when you're firing versus off to the side. Either way, you know, the decisions they're making are coming at a split second, and it's a game of inches.
The chase ended once Huizar crashed his car and shot himself. Troopers then rescued Roman, who made it out unharmed.
This was the last positive thing that could come out of this, was Roman returning home.
So the 3 troopers, including the superintendent who were involved in the shootout, are on administrative leave, which is normal protocol while the investigation continues. KGW has requested body and dash camera footage of the pursuit, and state police tell us today they won't be releasing it at this time due to the ongoing investigation. David.
Thank you.
They shouldn't be able to say that.
We begin with breaking news at this hour.
Hang on just a second, you guys. I got something playing in my ear. Okay. Hey, Adrian. Thank you for coming by. It's good to see you. Cutie Pie says, Mo, I'm so glad you're sharing this. There needs to be a change in how people are screened for jobs in our schools in LE, at least here anyway. Yes, that's exactly right. If they don't take this opportunity to make changes, what is it going to take? What is it going to take? For real. There is a one of the editors for that Tumbleweird place that I shared with you guys. She wrote a really good Facebook post at the end that I'll show you guys. Let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to share with you guys. Oh, there's something else that I wanted to share with you guys about Amber's divorce documents and things like that. I forgot to share that with you guys earlier, so we can look at that.
Yakima police officer took his own life following a pursuit through 2 states after investigators say he killed his ex-wife and his girlfriend and kidnapped his 1-year-old son. The baby is unhurt, and just into the newsroom, we're seeing video of officers recovering that child, the 1-year-old, after the chase ended. Take a look. This video is from Fox 12 viewer Sarah Baker. You can see officers emerging from behind a car carrying a car seat with 1-year-old Roman Santos inside. This happened.
When I was here and speaking to you guys on Monday, this hadn't happened yet. We didn't know all the stuff that we know now about this Elias. We didn't know all this stuff. I just shared with you guys a little bit what I found. I didn't see the paperwork yet to back it all up, and I usually don't like to share unless I have the paperwork. But I have seen the paperwork now, and now all that we know, it is an absolute miracle that this baby was found safe, you guys. And it's a miracle that he wasn't hurt in the accident when his dad ran into the back of the 18-wheeler, or when there was a shootout, or during this 100-mile-per-hour chase. I mean, it's an absolute miracle that baby Roman is safe. I'm so glad about that, you guys.
But after police found the suspect heading southbound on I-5 near Eugene, where he crashed. Coming up on the 10 o'clock news later, Fox 12's Jeffrey Lindblom will have the tragic and disturbing details. The good news, that baby was recovered safe. So we'll have more on this story coming up. Court documents filed by the suspect's ex-wife earlier this year, meantime, are revealing disturbing details about the months and years leading up to this tragic case. Fox 12's Riel Creighton joins us in studio with that part of the story. Riel?
And Pete, Elias Huizar met his 17-year-old victim when she was 11 years old while working as a school resource officer in Yakima. That's according to a protection order against Huizar filed by his ex-wife in February after she found out he...
That's what I was telling you guys about, that when all of the R charges happened in February is when they both got restraining orders, and the other 17-year-old victim, she did too. So he wasn't supposed to be around them or Roman. And they were supposed to take all of his weapons. So they did take 3. So where he got the one to shoot Amber, I have no idea.
He was accused of raping a 16-year-old.
According to the filing, 31-year-old Amber Rodriguez didn't know about the accusation until she read about it in the news the previous day. In the document, she claimed Huizar had, quote, harassed me since I separated from him on December 8th, 2020. She goes on to say that he was verbally, mentally, and emotionally abusive during their marriage, and that her 8-year-old son had told her numerous times that Huizar and his 17-year-old girlfriend had performed sexual activities in front of him and his younger brother.
I forgot about this, you guys. Yeah, it said that, so the 8-year-old told his mama that he was seeing Angelica and his dad doing grown folk business in front of him and his little brother. This is awful, you guys.
Rodriguez asked that Huizar be ordered to surrender any weapons because he has, quote, been diagnosed with PTSD, major depressive disorder, insomnia, alcohol use disorder, and an unspecified personality disorder, and that he posed a danger to her and her kids. Huizar recently worked as a substitute teacher in the Richland School District. School officials say they were not aware that Huizar had been disciplined before leaving his job with the Yakima Police Department in 2021. In fact, the district says he was recommended by the Yakima School District 22.
What? I forgot about that part. So he was recommended? This is crazy, you guys.
So the Richland district released a statement saying that they are, quote, extremely disheartened that details of Huizar's past were not disclosed to them. He was fired shortly after his arrest on rape charges in February. Pete.
Okay, Riel, thank you.
That's a very good point, K-Bray. So if they took all of his weapons, do you guys think that that he was able to purchase another one legally? I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah. Jen, sometimes when I get really feisty, when I'm really upset is when I spell out the cuss words when I'm typing. That's when I mean business, when I don't put asterisks and stuff like that. That's when I'm really feisty. Heather, I know, right? I don't know what they saw him in him either. 71, you don't think he got it legally? I wouldn't. Maybe he had one stashed away that they didn't find when they did that search warrant. I wouldn't doubt that either. No. Okay, there's one more video that I want to show you guys, and this is Angelica's aunt. She says some stuff here. And then I'll share with you guys that Facebook post that I was telling you about. Oh, I'm not sharing with you guys. Hang on a minute. Hang on just a minute. I wasn't sharing it. Oh my goodness. I'll get it, you guys. Oh my.
We've seen an outpouring of relief ever since baby Roman was found safe. But the aunt of Roman's mother tells me that she's still coming to grips with the fact that that boy will grow up without his mom. She describes the 17-year-old as beautiful, smart, and an amazing mother, telling me she feels her niece's alleged rapist should have never been out on bail.
No, he absolutely shouldn't have been out on bail. $250,000. It should have been higher than that, in my opinion. I don't know how a substitute teacher was able to afford that anyways. And besides that, he hadn't even been teaching recently. So I'm not sure why he wasn't, but he wasn't since 2023. So I'm not sure where he got that kind of money, but he absolutely shouldn't have been out.
Ends in Eugene with 40-year-old Elias Huizar shooting himself in the head and baby Roman safe in police custody. The fallout from Huizar's alleged crimes continue to weigh on the families of the women murdered in Washington yesterday.
She was an amazing mom. She was just a baby.
West Richland police say the woman killed at William Wiley Elementary School was Huizar's ex-wife, 31-year-old Amber Marie Rodriguez. Authorities are not identifying the second victim found at his home, but her aunt says that's because she's only 17 years old.
That's Angelica, you guys. We know that now. Angelica Santos.
And the mother of 1-year-old Roman.
She loved him. He was her world. She's a good mom. All she ever wanted was her baby to have a complete family.
Today,
Oh, I have to tell you guys, when I was reading the paperwork about when they went into his house after the R, that they saw ultrasound pictures and family photos of Angelica and him and the baby. How sad is that, you guys? Chris says he should be locked up and the key to his cell needs to disappear. Yep, he actually should have been before this. That's what I'm telling you guys. There were so many red flags. This could have all been prevented so many times. When the first investigation took place, he should have never been around children after that at all. And then the second investigation, that's another chance. And then after the R charges, that's another chance. It's awful, you guys.
County prosecutors confirmed Huizar was out on bail when he killed both women.
At the time of the murder, Mr. Huizar was out on conditions of release on 2 pending felony matters for rape of a child in the 3rd degree and rape.
Jen, that reminds me of something. You said, but he is gone, no longer to drag along the family and that poor baby boy. Yep, I have to tell you guys, when this happened, I was in Haunting Haley's Discord, And I was telling her, I was like, at first we found one news site that said that he had been shot, but they didn't know the status of his health at that time. And then she didn't know that there was 3 other places that said that he had passed away. And she said, I hope that one, she said, I hope that the 3 are right. And I said, well, I kind of hope that the one is right so that he can face justice for all that he's done. But she made me think, and it is good in my opinion, because the family won't have to go to court and go through all that and then see him probably not have any remorse for what he's done. And so yeah, he would have been sitting in there for a really long time, and then they would have had to go through the appeals and stuff like that, and probably would have even had to go through custody and get custody of Roman and his other 2 little boys from him. So yeah, it is good in my opinion now that I think about it. Haley, was that
in the second degree? The total bail on those 2 matters was $250,000.
Court documents show Huizar was arrested after a 2-hour SWAT standoff in February this year for raping a 17-year-old after getting she and her 16-year-old friend drunk. Investigators say the 17-year-old victim met Huizar when he was a school resource officer at her middle school. While he was
I'm not sure if I explained that to you guys right, but he was facing 2 R charges, and one was absolutely for Angelica's friend, for what Angelica woke up to him doing to her. That was for the one charge. And the other charge was for Angelica herself, what he did to her when she was underage. So that's why he was facing 2 charges. Yeah. Cutie Pie, that I think you shared that with me, the Tumbleweird site, and a few months ago they had actually published a big long essay about him, a big long article, and they were talking about him even back then. So that's another chance that he could have been stopped. Everybody was worried about it back then, a few months ago. I know, 71. I know. I don't want to blame the parents either. But we can look back and say that what should have, what we can learn from it and hope that this doesn't happen again. Yep, Cutie Pie, that site really is awesome. They post that Google Doc that drive that they had so much information. Yeah, it was a really good site.
employed at the Yakima Police Department, and she was 15 years old, claiming they entered a sexual relationship shortly after, and he ultimately got her pregnant.
I never did like him. There's no reason an almost 40-year-old man should have gotten a 15-year-old kid pregnant.
Huizar worked for Yakima Police from 2013 to 2022, when the department says he left after an undisclosed discipline. From there, he worked for the Richland School District as a resource officer.
I believe he should have never had a bail. I believe he should have never been let out. I believe he was a police officer at one point, so therefore he should have been automatic high risk for flight.
That was right what her aunt said, that he was a former police officer, so that should have made his flight risk higher. She's absolutely right about that.
Now, we are not naming or showing the 17-year-old victim as she is a minor, but her family tells me she is deeply missed. We have linked out GoFundMe's to help support her family and the family of
Yes, Miss W. He was a school resource officer back in 2019, and there come allegations of him having inappropriate relationships with Angelica when she was 11 years old, and they said that they couldn't get enough evidence to prove that, and so they just put him at another school as another resource officer. And then after that, they let him be a substitute teacher, Miss W. And then he quote unquote dated Angelica when she was 15 and got her pregnant. That makes me sick. Anyways, it wasn't dating, it was the R word. Yep, they met at the school, Miss W. Yep, absolutely. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to show you guys was an editor of the Tumbleweird. She wrote this really good Facebook post, and I will share it with you guys so you can go back and look at it later. Let me see here. Let me come back and get you guys. This is the post, I think, so you guys can look at it later. I think that's it. Let me share it with you guys now. Her name is Brendan Quinn. And it says, I keep seeing posts about people asking what they can do in light of the awfulness this week, and honestly going on for years. Yeah, it was going on for years. Let me see. I have some ideas. None of them are sexy or fast, and they'll require long-term commitment shared by all of us. To help protect our community, you're going to put a lot of work in, and it's going to be difficult to attribute any kind of societal improvement to any one of these things because systemic change is slow and gradual. Educate yourself on what happened in the series of events that led to the end of a years-long injustice. Tumbleweird is the only news organization that researched and produced a pair of stories that talked in depth about the shooter and his patterns with the victims of this week's murders. The first of these stories was released in print last month. Yep. So they wrote this before all of this happened, you guys. Let me go ahead and get that link so I can share it with you guys again. I shared it at the beginning, but this is a great resource, you guys. Let me go ahead and share this with you guys too. This is a really long link. I don't know if that will work. Well, it looks long on my computer, but not on my phone. So hopefully you guys can get there. Let me go back to read this. The series of crimes is a result of several specific failings of our legal system, school policies, and society as a whole. Yep, she's absolutely right. And this talks more about Tumbleweird. And then she says, always vote yes on school bonds and levies. The ability to request community funds is significantly outpaced. I don't know what this means. We'll have to look into that. But she says, show up to school board meetings and participate. Educate yourself by reading over local and state policies about local school leadership. Talk directly to elected leaders and enact change and hold them accountable to state, local, and personal commitments if the current group of leaders isn't functioning. So I know that people like me that don't have kids in a school district wouldn't think to go to these meetings. But you guys, we have to start thinking about not about ourselves so much, you know? We can absolutely go to these. Let's see. Run for office or volunteer. Yeah. Commit an hour or two a week to local schools and be a consistent, supportive member of the community. Do it when you don't feel like it. Volunteering is a requirement of living in society. Wow. When you think about that, that does make a lot of sense, doesn't it? Learn what it means to be a mandatory reporter. Yeah, my friend Case that I was telling you guys about, she's a nurse and she's a mandatory reporter. And Erin, our friend Erin, she's a mandatory reporter too. Learn the signs of domestic violence and child A and speak up if you see anything. All public school districts have access to trainings on spotting these things and can likely share them with a phone call. Get yourself to therapy. Therapy is awesome. And specifically for this conversation, work to discover, acknowledge, and accept that you have ingrained biases that may prevent you from doing any of the steps above and work to deconstruct them. Therapy is awesome, you guys. I started Zoom therapy this last year, and I know that a lot of you guys and most of my friends know that I'm paraplegic. I was in an accident on my way to work that I broke my back and it left me paraplegic. But so I was going to therapy about I have PTSD from that, and then also from a really bad DV incident. And so I talked to her about that and also my anxieties. I have anxiety about driving. I have a car with hand controls, and it's basically a brand new car, you guys. And I'm really independent. I take my chair out there and I get in, and then I take the wheels off and put those in the back seat, and then put the chair, the body of it, in the passenger seat, and then I can go anywhere I want, you know? So I'm so thankful that I'm independent still. But I've had this car since 2018, you guys, and I've probably only driven it 5 times by myself. And so I need to work on that. So I was talking to her about that, and also my anxiety about public speaking, you guys. That's actually one of the reasons that I started going live on my channel. I have a few lives on here from last year. Well, I think 2022 actually. And me and Case did some lives together, but I never did any lives by myself. And I was always down in the chat, and I wouldn't even go on panel, but I would have stuff to say too. And I thought that my little part of awareness that I could do would help. That's kind of like the Facebook post that we read. We all need to do our little part, you know? Hippie Chick says, I was a mandated reporter professionally since 1978, but even though I'm retired, I can't get mandated reporter out of my head. I consider myself still a mandated reporter. Absolutely. We all can be, you know? Chris, thank you. That really means so much, you guys. Yeah, so I was talking about my therapy, and she was trying to get me to go live, and I actually wouldn't do it then. My insurance ran out, and so I haven't been seeing her anymore, but I actually went live after all that. So she would be proud of me, I think. So now, since it's spring, I need to try to work on driving by myself again. I did drive, you guys. After I got hurt, I drove many years. I had a Mustang, and so I would do my wheelchair the same way, get in and out the same way, and I wasn't scared or anything. So I don't know what happened. Maybe when I got a new car, I wasn't used to it. Yeah, 71. I'm hungry. Oh, Hippie Chick, thank you. That really means a lot, you guys. And you guys come in here and listening to me and stuff, that really means so much. I always say that people donating their time means so much more than money, because you can't make more time, you know? Okay, Race, thank you. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Okay, so I left that link for you guys. And she said that the last election had a voter turnout of less than 20%. That's sad, you guys. We do need to think about doing that more. It says, if you aren't showing up to vote, you are the problem. Fix it. It's easy. Take less effort than posting thoughts and prayers on Facebook. Well, I don't know how much I agree with that, but so yeah, you guys, I think that that's all I have to share with you guys. But can you believe that all of this happened within 24 hours, and how much it could have been stopped before that? Oh, Debbie, that's okay. That's okay. No problem at all. Yeah. Okay, you guys, the next live that I want to do is our happy, I have been saying happy endings, but I think that that's not appropriate. So I think I'm going to say must be a miracle live now. We have done 3 of those so far, where you guys know in this genre that it's usually bad, sad endings that we see most of the time. But, Cutie Pie says she got a new scooter so she can go to the store park and take your dog for walks. Aw, that really would help your mental health. I need to think about that. I'd say it would help mine too. Since my accident was on black ice, the winter scares me. But now that it's spring, we don't have to worry about all that. Ray says, I hope everyone has a great rest of your Sunday and an amazing week ahead. Yep, absolutely. You guys know that on my community tab, I think I counted it up, and this will be our 30th week straight of posting prayer requests at the beginning of the week. I post prayer requests on there. Well, you guys can put your prayer requests there or say unspoken or email me. My email is on my about section if you guys wanted to do that. And you can email me to get in my Discord. It's a really good place in there, you guys. We every day Trista posts something in there on my faith tab, and it really makes you think all day long. I really enjoy reading those. Yep, so you guys email me about that, and the next time I come, we're going to do a happy live of happy endings. I've already got 3 of those in mind, but if you guys ever have any suggestions about those or anything else that you would want to discuss, email me that. Yeah, Debbie posted the SA support, you guys, for rain. Since we talked about that today, if you guys need any resources like that, that's a great site for resources. Yeah, and thank you guys. Thank you, my friends, for helping me mod today. You guys aren't my mods. You know, you're my friends, and you help me mod, and you're doing me a big favor. So I really, really, really appreciate it. Okay, you guys, I'll see you here next time. And thank you so very much for coming today and listening with me about this awful case. I think I can feel better now that I've shared it and got it out of my head and spreading the awareness that we can. So we'll see what else we can spread awareness about. Yeah, everybody is really cool in here, 71. I appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time, okay? Bye-bye.